It'll be 1 to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy. Coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, go, go. Go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Here we got Bruce, and then back over here to Mike.
Bruce Martin with SI.com. Rick, you started out in the sport with All-Star Racing. The team wasn't as big as some of the other teams at that time, like Junior Johnson. Now, 20 years later, 25 years later, you're the big team that's out here. But have you even had to maybe look at possibly downsizing some of your staff, maybe making some hard decisions and letting, trimming back on some of the crew members?
We've had situations where, like in the 80, the 88, and the 5 shop, we were running a Busch car and Terry in a limited schedule. And when NASCAR changed the rules about the 4 teams, we moved some of the teams up to junior motorsports with the Busch program. We've eliminated some jobs, at the end of the year. And I think you sometimes you get caught up in, at the end of the year, crew chiefs and folks make changes with personnel anyway. So there are some changes that are just to make the teams better, and some positions are eliminated, and then there's some just layoffs. If the guy's not going to do a motor program and he's got another way of doing it, and he's got engine builders, and he's got nothing for him to do. So I don't know if I answered your question, but in our situation, I think we've got to look at where we are down the road, because again, if you're lucky enough to have sponsors today and you're not out having to look, you hope when it's time to re-up that you're going to be able to at least maintain and not have them want to cut back. And I think it's going to be hard for any of us to do any new business in probably the first half of '09.
Go down here to Mike.
Mike Harris, AP. Rick, you mentioned kind of jokingly when you first sat down about being a little bit nervous. You've been through this so many times, this championship, and Jimmy's in obviously a great position going into Sunday. But at this point in your career and with what's gone on in your life in this sport, how antsy do you get in a situation like this?
I wish I could tell you I've gotten used to it, but I don't. I think I get more nervous, or as nervous as I ever have. Phoenix, that was the longest race I've ever been, and I can remember. And then when you have restarts, just 2 or 3 restarts, it just, you just got so much riding on it. And in the past championships, you decide on maybe a race early, before the chase starts. But in the chase, anything can happen. So it just brings a lot of pressure and a lot of just nervousness, I guess. And I don't get used to it. It hadn't hit me yet, because we've got a Sunday morning when they line up and they start, when I'll wear out my shoes going back and forth down pit road because I can't stand still. But it's just that everybody expect, we think we got a really good shot at closing the deal, but we could have the motor problem like Jeff did in the first 10 laps and we're done. So it's I'll rest better Sunday night, hopefully.
Down front here with Tony.
Hey, Rick. Jeff Gordon won 3 of his 4 championships with Ray, and really hasn't enjoyed that kind of success since that team broke up. How important will it be for you to try to keep that 48 team together and keep Chad with Jimmy going forward?
That's the plan, and Ray decided to do his own deal and was very successful, and we did have success and won a championship after Ray. But when you've got a guy and that they've worked together that closely, it's hard to get that chemistry back or that momentum back. And thankfully they're already talking about next year. What Chad is, so he's like a machine. I think a week ago he was telling me some plans he had next year, and so I hope that they're together for a long time.
Go to the far left of the room and then back over to Tom.
Jay Pennell, HardcoreRaceFans.com. There's been a lot of talk about where Jimmy fits in the history of the sport. Aside from that, Where does he fit in within the history of your organization as far as your drivers, the drivers that you've had?
Well, I don't understand why Jimmy Johnson hadn't gotten more credit than he has gotten for being one of the best that's, been in a car. Because you look at the statistics of the races he's entered and his top 5s, top 10s, and wins, I don't think anybody's got a better record than he's had. And and I know in our camp we give them all the same equipment, and he just seems to get better. And I think people might not say it today, but I think 3 or 4 years from now, and I think people are starting to see it and start appreciate the talent that he has. And I think in a lot of cases they don't talk about how good a guy is until he's probably in the twilight of his career. But I think you ask the guys in the garage, the other drivers that drive against him, he's pretty amazing, and the combination of he and Chad makes it even that much better.